Hello again, everybody. It's Eric. I'm here with another review on a pretty cool knife um, made by a pretty neat brand. Some people don't like this particular brand. I'm so far I've been pleased with everything that I've owned from them, and we'll go ahead and, without further ado, give it up for Microtech. Oh yeah. Pretty cool. But which Microtech is it? That's the big question. It's actually the Navy Scarab. It's a 182-1T. This one is an all blacked out version. So when you open the box, it's just a simple box with a little styrofoam in the side. A cool case that the Scarab comes in, and we'll go through that here in a second, but I'll show you other stuff. These are kind of important. I'll show you what those are all about. And of course, paperwork and all that good mumbo jumbo tells you about the Scarab and this and that, which we can go through that afterwards as well. But at least you got some good, legit paperwork to look at. Kind of neat. And again, I'm using my computer for this, and it's kind of at an angle. The screen is pointed downward, that way you can see what I'm messing with, and that way you don't have to see my ugly face instead. So, let me put some of this stuff back. I'll keep this over to the side and show you what it is here in a moment. So here it is, the Navy Scarab. This is the little pouch it comes with. It's got a clip here, some Velcro options, which is really pretty cool. And on the front as well. You put it on a belt or something like that if that's what you kind of like to do. Let's open her up. Pretty sweet. Oh, can you already see the skull crusher, glass breaker, whatever you want to call it? The Scarab beetle. Can you see that thing? It's kind of neato. But let's take it out real slow. Oh man, this thing is sweet. It is sweet. So, let me tell you a little bit about it first. We'll start, you know what? We'll just start with right here. This little deal, little doohickey that you can see, this black thing here, is actually a cover for the Scarab to keep the anything from getting in the inside. This is obviously an OTF knife, which is, for those of you that don't know, it's an out the front. An automatic blade. So this thing pops off. You just take your thumb and it shot across the room. Let me grab it. Just pretty easy. And boom, it's opened up in there. And then of course, once you get that done, you just pop a little. Oh, pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. So let's get this in there. It shows the serial number 4393, all that good stuff. The date it was made, which is July 2015. It's almost a year old. And just what it is. I really have not carried this once. I've owned it for about 4 to 5 months now, and have not carried it one time because, I don't know why. It's not the most expensive knife that I own. I just, for some reason, don't want to carry it. I love it. It's probably the coolest knife. It's the one of the ones I would definitely trust with my life if I needed it. It's kind of neat about it. We'll shut this thing. It's pretty sweet. Man, it just fires, and it's stiff. That's another thing. It's a lot of Microtechs their OTFs have a lot of stiffness to them sometimes, so you have to get used to it. I got to put a lot of effort in to bring it back in. Goodness gracious, sometimes I got to do that with my thumb. No, I'm not weak. I'll show you. I can fire this one pretty daggone good. No questions asked. And that's brand spanking new. Little infidel there. We'll go back to that later, though. Let's come back to this bad boy. So, this thing is actually salt water resistant and can fire in the water, and particularly in salt water. It's supposed to be made for like the Navy SEALs, so they can, use it underwater. It's got a lot of different options. It's got these little holes here, which you can see, that are supposed to help, with drainage and this and that. Of course, a glass breaker here. And when I fire it open, well, first you can see there's little drainage holes there too to help it fire and give it its aerodynamic stuff. But if you fire it out and you look at each side of the blade, see these little rivets or whatever they are in here. That helps, I guess, glide the blade through the water. It's kind of neat, and they're on the other side as well. And honestly, it does work. There are YouTube videos, if you want to look them up, that show the difference between the original Scarab that came out and then this waterproof, or the one that's meant to go in the water. Kind of neat. Another pretty cool little thing with this knife, you can see on the trigger here, there's a little dot there, and it's on both sides, and it's also on the top. It has got a little, I'd say, light. What is the heck's the name of it? Let me look it up here so I don't look like an idiot. But it is, it's something that's in a lot of different watches and this and that. And I'm being such an idiot right now. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I apologize. It was on the tip of my tongue, but when you're put on the spot on a video, you just forget stuff. It is. You know what? It'll come to me in a second. We'll keep talking about this blade. So, anyways, it's actually tritium. Maybe is that the word I'm looking for? Maybe it's tritium. I'll think of it. It glows constantly. If it's really, really low, and it looks kind of greenish here, but when you are actually looking at it in the light, which you won't, there's probably, you might be able to see. No, I won't be able to see anything with this. But it is actually kind of like a bluish color when it's in light, and it's very, very, very faint. I think that, once your eyes adjust, if you were, say, you were diving at night or something like that, you would be able to see the knife pretty well. Anyway, before my computer dies, we'll try to wrap this thing up pretty quick. It's actually made. It's got some kind of coating on here that keeps it resistant from the salt water as well. So that little thing that I shot off earlier is kind of neat. You put it back on pretty simply. There are little notches on the back part of the blade. You pop it in there and slide it right on. And there it goes. It slid right back on. The cool thing about this is that it came, that little packet I said I was going to show you, came with two more of these, if you can see them. And then this little, which I have not opened this, obviously. This little tool here that you can take you can actually move this the clip to make it go the other side with a lefty, and the little tool goes in this little hole here, and it's also can be used for a lanyard and yada yada yada. So that's the whole idea. So I will leave you knowing that this is an amazing knife. I will put it like this and show you how unbelievably amazing it looks. Oh goodness, how beautiful is that? It is cool, and it's a good weight. It feels good in the hand. It feels solid, but it's not too heavy. You know what I mean? It's actually, if you had an all carbon fiber knife like the Terzola that I did my first review for, it actually feels like not as good as this. This feels amazing in the hand. It feels really well. It's probably the perfect weight. I think it is. It's really, you know what? I might carry this thing this weekend. Memorial Day. Why not? Let's just carry it for fun. Of course, if you own one, make sure that you are in a state that will allow you to carry out the front knives. Anyway, thank you all very much for stopping by. Be well, jam on, have a good weekend.